Hello, everyone, and good morning. It's a beautiful April the 28th morning, Tuesday morning, and on today's animal news, I have an article brought to you from the South China Morning Post. Before you close this video off, you might take note that the only reason I'm reporting something from the South China Morning Post is because that is where this freaking corona thing started. And you will not be surprised to hear that the article is titled Coronavirus Cases at Dutch Mink Farms Highlight Need to Monitor Animal Spread. Wouldn't you know that coronavirus has now been found in several different animals, particularly mink farms in South China. Morning Post is reporting it is a Dutch mink farm, and that is going to be one of the first larger cases of a coronavirus spread, they said, that has been contracted from different farms. It is now spread to 2 different farms, and the title of the article says that mink are thought to have contracted the illness from employees at the farms, which have been quarantined. It goes on to say, as more species become infected and the situation evolves, experts say it's pertinent that we keep an eye on this. Of course, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we would laugh at an article like this, that we don't really need to keep an eye on something like this. It's a dirty, disease in another country. It's not a big deal to us. However, I think with the situation that we saw ourselves in here recently, that these things are probably a little more realistic to each and every one of us here in America. The article goes on to say the discovery of new coronavirus in mink farms highlights the need to pay close attention to how the virus spreads in animals, experts say. 2 mink breeding farms have been placed under quarantine after animals were found to have been infected by the virus that causes COVID-19, likely from farm staff, according to reports of a government announcement on Sunday. So, of course, we know that this virus has been known to travel from an animal to a human, and now from a human back to the animal. So who knows how this situation will evolve, if this will just be some weird, one-off case, or if this will continue to grow more and more and become a larger and larger problem. But I think if we start seeing a case of this spreading to animals, you think about animals for the most part, besides really wild animals, all domesticated animals, whether it's for commercial like breeding operation or if it's for pets or whatever, they are confined in a pretty tight space, and that is something that is a huge issue with this. Keeping distancing and things like that. Having a large group of animals confined in a tight space is going to be a very tricky situation, or whatever you might call it, if this starts to evolve into animals. So I am not very up on, I haven't done a lot of research on this topic as far as, what the repercussions can be, as far as, can it spread to different species? And I don't think a lot of people even know. I'm sure there's quite a bit of science behind, people's educated guesses. However, I don't think anybody particularly knows the exact answer of can this spread to, different species? Can it spread to from animals to species, back and forth? But I do know that, this is something that I would have laughed at an article like this not too long ago, and now that might be a lot more realistic of it coming to America and impacting people around here. So anyways, that is the article today. Minks have coronavirus now. 2 mink breeding farms, and they are in quarantine, obviously, but we'll see what comes of this. Thank you for watching the news today.